Shout out to the Cows Gang. I'm your host, Mr. Palmer, and welcome to the show, Victim or Volunteer. Cows Gang, oh my Lord, you won't believe this one. But then again, a lot of you will. I want you to take a look at this man right here by the name of Deshawn Flood. Let's take a look at his Facebook page. Look how happy him and his wife, his 3 children. He been married for 9 long years. Father, a deacon of the church. But down the line, I guess he decided to take a DNA test for some reason or another. And after he do the DNA test of all 3 of his children, he finds out they none of them his.
Oh, hell no.
You can't make it up. This man has been married to this woman, allegedly her name is Dominique Flood, for 9 years. 3 children, found out ain't none of them his. And now he's locked up on $1 million cash bond. You ask me why? Well, I'll tell you. He's accused of shooting at his wife and pistol whipping her head in. He went up to her job and waited on her. This was July 29th, and his wife, Dominique, worked at Michigan Rehab Services. It's a living facility, and he approached her, and he allegedly reached for his gun from his waistband, and his wife attempted to take cover in her coworker's vehicle. Flood stopped his wife for closing the vehicle and allegedly shot at her multiple times. And allegedly, they said about 20 times, right? And eventually, her and her coworker was able to get out the car and run to the building, but Flood caught up with his wife and allegedly stopped beating her head in with the pistol. And the police was called to the scene. They took Flood into custody, and the woman, his wife, was taken in for injuries. Apparently, it's not like threatening. Her coworker wasn't injured, and now his next court is scheduled for August the 7th. Now, Cows Gang, can y'all imagine you being married, doing it the right way, loving your wife, y'all have kids, and then you find out it's not yours? Now, there's a lot of people in the comments saying that I feel his pain. I understand. Then you have others saying he was wrong, he shouldn't have did it, regardless of what she did and all that jive. He need to go to jail, get him off the streets. And it's kind of like a man versus woman thing, you know. Also, come to find out, somebody in his family posted up a GoFundMe for him. He was the stay-at-home dad, going on all the trips, cooking and making sure home was good while she went to school and worked, suffering from seizures and mental issues, still putting God first. Most know him as the deacon or preacher. This will make most men do unthinkable things. So, 11 days before the incident, he checked himself into a mental facility, and they recommended him to a better place in Chicago. So they released him. Catching meningitis as a young man caused the seizures, and was told it was a low chance of children because meningitis affects his spine. So having kids was a blessing, he thought. Show support for this GoFundMe. Wow. Now, in my opinion, that's probably one of the reasons why he was going to mental institutions, because he probably realized them kids wasn't his, but he wasn't sure. He wasn't that mental, because he knew to take their DNA, but he 9 years too late. And let me tell you about that, Cows Gang. If you married and you have a child that you think is yours, and you go through a divorce, guess what? You would be paying child support. But before getting all that, I want y'all to check out this news clip, and I'll get back to you.
Following breaking news out of Sterling Heights, where police say a husband shot his wife in her work parking lot. That shooting happened at the Pomeroy Living Center on 15 Mile near DeQuinder. Gina Vici has an update on the victim's condition and the investigation.
Yeah, this is still a very active scene behind me. Take a look at this. Look at the bullet casing markings on the ground here. Sterling Heights police saying around 8 o'clock this morning they received a 911 call that a woman had been shot in the parking lot here at the Pomeroy Living Center off of 15 Mile near DeQuinder. We're told an employee was shot by her husband in the parking lot. We're told they both lived in the city of Warren and that the husband came up to his wife's employer and shot her several times. Police thankfully were able to respond to the scene within seconds. The wife was rushed to a nearby hospital where she is still alive. Police encountered the husband, who was armed with a revolver, and were able to take him into custody. Here is Captain Mario Bastianelli talking about the moment officers encountered the gunman.
Like I said, our officers were here, very quickly. So, which makes all the difference in the world of somebody with a gun and they're actively shooting at people. So this happened to be a targeted incident because it was a domestic situation. But you never know how these things are going to transpire, right? How they're going to work out. Officers show up, you have a guy with a gun, you know? Does he go peacefully, or does this end up, turning into a shootout with our officers? It's a, very stressful situation on everybody, including our officers arriving. All in all, a good ending to a bad situation.
Again, we're told the female victim is expected to survive despite being shot several times in the body. And again, her husband has been taken into custody. No word yet on when he could be charged. In Sterling Heights, Gino Vici, CBS News, Detroit.
Gino, thank you.
What y'all think about that, Cows Gang? Man, that's a trip. So like I was saying before, you have a lot of people talking about, hey, he didn't do all that. He could have just divorced her and all that. What you don't realize, and y'all need to know this, if you married and have kids and you go through a divorce and you do a DNA test and find out that you're not the father, 9 times out of 10, you will still have to pay child support. Even if you're married and y'all separated, but it's not on paper, and she has a kid, she can still put you on child support. And Michigan is known for that, making the husband take care of the kid versus the boyfriend or the dip outside man, and he go off scot-free. So it's more to it than just, hey, just get a divorce. And I want y'all to understand that when it comes to DDC, 30% of men are not the father. And what they also said was, those are the ones who assumed they wasn't the father, so they decided to do the DNA test. Just imagine the ones that ain't bothered to take that test. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, Cows Gang, I thought this was fake. That's why I didn't rush to do this video. I started seeing stuff on Facebook and it finally came out. That's why he did what he did. This is crazy. But I want y'all to understand, take this story as a lesson. Take heed. I don't care if you're in a relationship. I don't care if you're married. If she get pregnant, say she's pregnant, you have a DNA test so you won't be a victim of maternity fraud. There's so many men that out here that take care of kids is not theirs. You know that old saying that's been going on for a very long time. Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. So Cows Gang, you know how I get down. When it comes to 37-year-old Deshawn Flood, I got to know, is he a victim or volunteer?
In the case of 3-year-old Junior Pie, you are not. It's okay.
Y'all tell me what y'all think. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm Mr. Palmer, and this conversation is over. Cows Gang, Cows Gang.